trade for facility maintenance. Then like a month or two after that, I get my trade for EMT. So it's just a lot of great stuff I got going on in my belt that I'm happy for. I ain't gonna lie to you.
When I got to the program, I started to look at it as a good thing because it gave me a second chance and an opportunity to just be free. For me to go through this way instead of getting locked up, it made me feel a lot better because I had stuff to lose and I know I wasn't ready to lose everything that fast. I'm most proud of that I could sit here and tell people where I came from and who I am right now and how I improved in a lot of different things.
I'm gonna give up probably. I hit like 10%.
Oh, and morning everybody in Buffalo. Philadelphia half marathon. Completing 13.1 miles.
Good morning, students. We know you've been training so hard for this day, so trust in your training and have a good time.
If more young people are getting second chances in life, it's beneficial to the community because they can become a future leader. They can provide insight into their stories and ultimately just be a beacon of light into whatever community they're going into.
I've seen the expansion of diversion from when I started in the PD to where it is now, and it's grown exponentially. My hope is that it's going to grow even bigger, not only in Philadelphia, but across the state of Pennsylvania.
One of my hopes for Pennsylvania is that if a kid makes the wrong decision and commits an offense, we smartly use tax dollars to put them in a diversion program rather than in a prison so that their lives are better. It makes sense from a taxpayer's perspective, from my personal perspective as a citizen who wants to be safe, and from a societal perspective of how we should treat our children.
Second chances are necessary, no matter who the individual is.
Our next film is The Brothers Who Broke Bread by Victoria Wilcox. Based in Philly, Victoria Wilcox is a third-time United We Heal filmmaker. With a narrative directing BFA from Temple University, Victoria has curated a... I'll make some love for Temple real quick. Victoria has curated a love for capturing moments in time and cultivating empathy within the audience. And The Brothers Who Broke Bread, a young black saxophonist in Philadelphia.
You don't know how it's going to come. It doesn't always come right the way you dream it. As a kid, we always see the end process. Because Phil was huge. It came out the year I was born. It was playing everywhere, no matter where it was. I was the little kid that you can see now on the TV who had the whole outfit. I mean, the whole outfit. They had to tape yarn so I could have my Michael Jackson curls on my forehead. And this is what anybody in my family who were around would have me do when we got together. And if I was at any mall, no matter where it was, no matter what part of the song came on, I jumped into the exact choreography as a child. But when you hear and see how many people were affected about it, how much joy it brought them as a kid, I think that sparked it from it. My name is Curtis Perry Lassiter II. I am from Philadelphia, PA. And I'm from North Philly. My pronouns are he, him, but when I am in drag, they are she, her. My drag name is Vanessa Join. That's Vanessa with a big F. So I'm Vanessa, and I'm a flat dresser.
And I'm the director and cinematographer of Glass Bricks.
Hi, my name is Zinia Matthews. I am the writer, director, and editor of Eureka.
My name is Tony Suarez Jr. I'm the writer, director, and I also starred in Edifice.
Okay, so for the director of Glass Bricks, you mentioned that you started.
I literally was chasing a film called Chasing Waterfalls that did not want me to make it. And so, as y'all saw, my film was about grief and loss, and I was trying to recreate my experience of visiting waterfalls after the death of my eldest son, Julian. And it didn't want to be a film. And so in January of this year, I literally was in tears because I could not bring that film to life. And as soon as I blessed and released it, within less than 24 hours, the concept for Grief Cosmologies was born. So that's why I had to make my film.
Alhamdulillah. Quick, just to piggyback off, like, how long did it take you to make that? Because I can imagine the time and amount of time it took.
So once I get into animating, so all of that, y'all, is just literally a bunch of pictures and a bunch of movement. I'm also a collage artist, so that's why I call it collage animation, because it stems out of my practice as a collage artist. I don't know, I really don't time it. People always ask me that. It's hours and hours and hours. To be honest. So just think about, and it's stop motion animation, so everything that you see, every frame is multiple, it's like pictures and then you have to move them. So I don't know, just a lot of hours.
Yeah,
That's a great
a lot of
question. Yeah, a lot of hours.
All right, open panel, why did you have to make your film?
I would say for my film, I discovered the topic of Eureka in my last year of school in an art history class. And the story of it was so strange and weird and also heartbreaking. She was this girl that was brought from Senegal to the metropoles of France, and she was a pet for an aristocratic family.
Wow.
And after she died, they made like a bunch of paintings, drawings, poetry, plays. White French women would dress up like her, essentially like this visual culture of this dead slave girl. It was called Eureka Mania. The author Robin Mitchell wrote a book about it. And I was just thinking about, if I could free this girl, how would it happen? Who would do it? And then me and all of my aesthetic inspirations for like weird 70s B horror leaped into my head, and I came up with Eureka.
So my film Glass Bricks actually started out as a narrative film.
And it was like, oh my God, if they came back from the dead as zombies, I know who they'd eat, right? So that was just an idea that lived in my head rent free for a while. Get Out comes out, I'm like, oh no, I need to make this movie. And so then I studied Black history. And it was like, it went from being like, okay, this isn't really a joke, it's funny, but it isn't a joke.
That's right.
And so I wrote a feature, and then we started working on the short. And while we were working on the short, the President of the United States decided to declare war on Black history. And I took that personally. And so my editor, Raquel Davis, who edited like 20 of the movies in this festival, she's amazing. She's out here now. She's freaking amazing. But I don't know if you remember, Raquel, I texted you out of the blue, and I was like, hey, remember how we talked about maybe putting the names of the slaves and the presidents who owned slaves in the credits? Yeah, I think we have to do that now. And you wrote back like, hell yeah, and like, boom, it was in there. And I want to thank you all so much for acknowledging that. Because, you know, you go to a festival, you see people, you don't know if they're paying attention to the credits. Y'all were paying attention. But yeah, like, it became, like, it went from I have to make this movie to I fucking have to make this movie. Because they're trying to take away history, and the only way I can preserve it is by putting it in the credits. That's what I'm gonna fucking do. So yeah, that was why I had to do it.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate it. I did have a question specifically for a few of them. For Xenia, what was the significance of Arika's hair?
Yes, so I had an amazing hair artist on set. Her name is Shasiana. She's not here, but she slays. But I wanted her hair to be like all covered up in the beginning because that was how she was painted. And a lot of these depictions of Arika, you see this like very young girl. She's in various different kinds of like submissive poses. There's one painting of her where she's like, I guess like she has her hands up in praise to the bust of the man who kidnapped her from Senegal, also her master. And like in all of those depictions, her hair is covered up. And I was thinking about if she had been sort of in this purgatory for about 200 years, her hair would be very, very long. So when she has that moment with herself in the mirror, I wanted like her hair to display like how much time she's been in there and the fact that she's on the verge of getting out. She's sort of
share jazz. Like I definitely think it's like an emissions issue. No shade to Temple, but yeah, I just wanted to bring awareness to that. Just by, well, yeah, I got my degree already, so I get
I think about a year ago, I'm someone who's, I would like to call myself someone who can be quite aggressive and is very influenced by, I guess, the events of our country and the world. And I think I was particularly really affected by a lot of the images that I was seeing online, I'll just be frank, coming out of Palestine and then coming out of Sudan and Congo and in our own country, in the state of our country. And it was troubling to me. And as an artist, I found it difficult to justify pursuing this career path because there's so much that I felt like I should be doing and that I wasn't doing. I'm like, I'm asking people for money and for time, and I'm pursuing, education in something that I'm like, is this important right now? And then I started to sort of come to terms with the fact that art is at the mark of all revolution. And I think
that's right.
A place for what we're doing and seeking justice, especially as Black people, especially on Juneteenth. It's very fitting to be thinking about this, but I think about how our ancestors did not have the opportunities to be able to create art or to rest or encouraged to be in love, and specifically were referred to as subhuman. So when you practice acts of humanity and vulnerability and empathy, that's always sort of working against this machine that says you're not that. And so if your way of doing that is love, if your way of doing that is laughter or creating art, I think that there's always a space for acknowledging that, especially for young people, to see that they are always doing something to make things better. And I think also for people my age, I thought it was important to promote like being vulnerable and sort
that's
of
right.
the importance in being yourself, and that there's
transparency
good about that. And I felt sort of will to put that message out there. And again, my sort of journey with this was through art. I realized that creating my art was not, and there's a line in the film where she says, "You're not the only, but you're never an exception." It's like, you're not the only thing that we have to do. And of course, it's not me at all promoting that we shouldn't, be involved and sort of organized, but I think that art has a place within that, love has a place within that, and 90% of the people here that I've seen were here because slaves decided, hey, we're gonna be in love and we're gonna laugh and we're gonna rest, and people who were living through segregation decided, hey, we're gonna be in love and we're going to laugh and we're gonna have fun and we're going to rest and acknowledge those things, that is still important, and that has a place in revolution among other things. So I just felt like it was important to say, hey, what you're doing is okay and what you're doing is powerful. I'm sorry, tangential.
You did great. That was great. In prison, what you think gonna happen, man? And so we had to tell that story. And the second is, there was a period of time when I found myself in a cell. And when I really looked out that window and saw what was going on, it's modern day slavery. It's another form of slavery.
That's right.
So the reason why it's allowed to proliferate is because of the stories that we tell about the people who go in there. So we need to hear different stories, real stories, And so that's why I made mine.
Alhamdulillah.
So I decided to make Edifice for a few reasons. I'm trying not to trauma dump myself, I promise. But my last day of high school, March 11, 2020, was the day my grandfather passed away. And the year after that, my favorite aunt passed away. Then a year and a half after that, my grandmother died. Then after that, my best friend died the year after. So I was going through so much trauma. And at some point, I became that pain. I became that trauma. And it showed in the relationships I had with people, with women. I just did not value them. So I decided to take that pain and to become something greater than that. And in order to move forward, you have to learn from your past. So I looked at the Harlem Renaissance, people who went through things and became something greater. People like Gladys Bentley, she was an open lesbian and she performed in front of people and she was just herself. Who else? Just a few other people. Shout out to them. But yeah, Edifice was something that I had to do.
One second. Thank you, bro. If you still haven't voted for the film, the cutoff is 9:15, so you got about 4 minutes. So you can scan that QR code and vote for your favorite film. You only got 4 minutes left, so get it done.
I'll say, what was the quote at the end of yours? It went fast.
It was Proverbs. It was something from Proverbs. I'm on a deconstruction journey.
I'll say I created Baby Steps because I miss my dad. He passed away in 2017, and I can't say that our relationship was always what was seen in the film. He was a very colorful person, and after puberty, relationships and dynamics become very different when it comes to dads and daughters. And what I remember most about him, now that he's transitioned, are those micro moments of lessons that carried me. So I am very aware of my surroundings. I do read people's body language. And those are the things that, being an adult woman, I carry with me about my dad. And I wanted to affirm Black fathers because you all matter. And
thank you.
We are who we are because of you. And I just wanted to affirm Black fathers, honor my dad, and also trace the steps that we took going to the bus. So I'm from Logan.
Y'all give it up for David Dylan Thomas. Alright, we got a jury coming through, so they're gonna announce us who they are, and they get to choose. So we got the jury award. So give it up for yourselves. Give it up again for David Dylan Thomas.
Hi everyone. My name is Vanessa Chandler, and I have the pleasure of serving as one of the incredible jurors for this incredible film festival. Round of applause.
I'd like to give you your flowers. Thank you so much. One more. This is from the staff, the United We Heal staff. Director X, come to the front.
together. So, you know, you deserve your flowers too, girl.
So very quickly, if you guys do not know, this is a 501c3 nonprofit organization started by Miss Ebony Roberts here. So on behalf of the board, the staff, the volunteers, this awesome community, we thank you. We honor you on Juneteenth. We also want to say every dollar that you spend is reinvested back into building this platform bigger and better each year. The 5th year she built this from nothing, which is from vision, and decided to grow it to really create a platform for independent artists and filmmakers, small businesses. So please, come help me sell out this merch table. I need to see all of you. We've got totes, we've got bags. You spend $40, you get free Black-owned coffee, Black-owned company. Every dollar you reinvest, even the platform that you purchase your tickets on today.